Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're viewing from. You're welcome to the Reboot podcast. I am Pamela.
Nathan.
Yes, today we're going to share with you something very important about Valentine's. We hope you will learn. So please share your comments in the comment section as we're sharing. Yes, so we're going to start off right away. Now, I'd like to ask our dear guests, Innocent and Nathan, what do you know about Valentine's? Let's start with Innocent.
Okay, for me, when you ask me what I know about Valentine, I think I'm shaped by what I've been seeing for all these many years. I've been alive and I've seen these things happen around me. So when someone mentions Valentine, you're thinking of gifts. I think of surprises. I think of those special dinners, but all in the name of love. Yeah, all in the name of love and to that special person. That is what I think of when it comes to Valentine, basing on what and my knowledge is shaped around the experiences I've seen around me. Yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
what I'll say.
All right, and Nathan?
Well, I will not differ so much from what Ino has said. Yes, when you hear Valentine's in general concept, yeah, Valentine is a day of love, is a day of gifting, it's a day of presents, it's a day to show love, or it's a day that has been put aside for the showing of love in general aspects. Yes.
Well, everything has a history or where it started from, why, and how they did it then. I would like to know what you know about the history of Valentine's Day.
Well, my submission would be the little history that I know about Valentine's Day is this. Now, Valentine's, it's called Valentine's Day, and Valentine, of course, comes from somewhere. Now, when we look through history, we realize that there is a man called Saint Valentine. Okay, he's called Valentine, but he's now a saint. So that's why you add the saint. And he was martyred back in the day because of his views, because of his religious affiliations. Now, that's where this whole thing comes from, the Valentine's Day. It comes from the Saint Valentine. And he was a man who was trying to do good. When you realize through history, he was a man who really had a ministry that was going to the Christians who were what? Correct me, what's the word again?
Being persecuted.
Persecuted Christians. And then when you go back in history, you actually realize that this is a time where now this man had a contention with the emperor of that time, because the emperor maybe thought that this man was trying to pull down his military power, because the emperor was against marriage to a certain extent. But then this man was trying to bring it back. So he was martyred because of his beliefs and because of his faith. So that's where this whole Valentine's Day comes from, because he was martyred, he was killed on the 14th of February.
All right. Before you submit, is it that Valentine's is to celebrate this man, or there's another? Because most of us believe it's celebrating love, right? But from what I have heard, it seems like it's a day that was meant to celebrate a person who was kind of bringing the love and a different view of love in the system of the world. Is that right? Or I didn't get it right?
I think it depends on where you're coming from. Probably where where all this history comes from, I believe the man is also celebrated because by the time he's made a saint, it means emphasis and focus is also put on the things he did for the church then. But then now in other places, what people might be celebrating are the things that he was killed for. Because one clear thing, like Nathan said, the reason the emperor Claudius II executed this priest, it's because the guy was secretly performing marriage ceremonies, and he was also encouraging married couples at a time when the emperor believed that single men made better soldiers. So he had to put a ban on any form of marriages because his thoughts were towards building a strong Roman a strong Roman Empire army. Yeah, so that is for me. So in some places they celebrated the man. That's why it's called the saint. But then I think in other places it's also the things that this man died for.
That is interesting. That is very interesting. Now, just to move us away a little bit, there are some things that are considered misconceptions about Valentine's. I know you guys are now starting to think about what could this be, but I would like to start with this very common one. People think Valentine's is to celebrate romantic relationships. Is that right? Because we are looking at this man who was kind of bringing back the form of love and marriage and relationship into the system, and he was murdered for that. Now, some people believe it is only for romantic relationship. Is that a misconception, or it's the truth about Valentine's?
Wow. That's very interesting. So let's break it down very simply this way. When we talk about Valentines in particular, Saint Valentine was a man who was doing the right thing, I believe. And when we talk about Valentine, we are celebrating him. And we are celebrating his achievements or what he was trying to put forth. That's why you realize that back in the day, in the century that he was killed or that he was martyred in, you realize that a few churches, I think the Anglican Church and the Catholic Church, actually put this day in their calendars as a real public holiday because they saw what he was doing and they liked it. Now, I think if we are to go into retrospect and then we look at Valentine's now and probably what it was meant to be, Valentine is a day for, number one, remembering. Number two, it's a day for showing appreciation. And yes, it also is a day for showing love. Now, you see, the thing with love is different. We all know here that there are different types of love.
Yes.
There is agape, there is eros, there is, all those types of love. And I believe that Valentine's has leaned over to a specific side alone and has ignored the other sides as well. Let me just give you a little brief history down the lane. So we know 14th February is Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Now, on 15th of February, there was a feast that was held that was called the Lupercalia. Now, the Lupercalia feast now was a different feast in its own, because now this is a type of feast that actually when you look at it, it was a bit immoral and it encouraged more of what people are practicing now instead of as Valentine, instead of the main. Now, it is probably because they are around the same time, because Valentine's is February 14th and then this is 15th, the day after. So I believe it brought in a bit of a cultural confusion and then people mixed up and jumbled the things a bit. But I believe that Valentine's Day in itself was for remembrance, was for showing love. You could show love to a friend. It could be platonic. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing that it has become mandatory as it is now.
I think my addition on that would be, one, there's a line that, because the kind of lie it creates is that romance is love, right?
Right.
But the reality of all this is romance is part of the bigger picture of love. Yeah. But then if you come to we as Christians, that kind of love also, that section of love also has its boundaries.
Right.
And now, for we who believe in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, it is something that is concealed within the couples that are properly, or couples that are married. Yeah. So now, if you take it on from the other side, I believe that is the biggest lie that this specific day creates all over the world, that romance is actually love. And yet, the understanding of love is bigger than romance.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys, have you had, most of you think that is the time when you need to go and do all sorts of things, but we are celebrating love in general. And the other misconception is that is the only day when partners or friends or mothers like get to receive treats and gifts from their loved ones. What do you have to say about that?
I will give a bit of a personal example. Personally, I would have no big problem with Valentine's Day as if it is done right.
Are you saying you have a problem with it?
No. Okay.
I just
okay.
had to be clear.
You just have to be clear. Okay,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is this: I do not celebrate Valentine's Day, and I always tell everyone around me, my friends, everyone knows this. I do not celebrate Valentine's Day, and the reason I do not celebrate Valentine's Day is not because it may look stupid. It's not because me walking around with flowers makes me, No. It is because why do I get one day in a year to show you appreciation, to show you love, to show you affection, when I can do it all year round? Why do I specifically have to go above and beyond? Not because I want to, but because I feel a social norm and I feel
that's
socially
what it should
obligated.
happen then.
It's what should happen. If it doesn't happen, then I am an odd man out. If it doesn't happen, then I am bringing shame to someone. If it doesn't happen, so my why I detest it. So why I detest it is just because of that. I feel that if I want to appreciate someone, I can appreciate you any day, every day, every
Right.
time. I can walk up to a friend of mine and I give you a rose. I buy you probably a bar of chocolate. It doesn't kill. Why do I have to wait for one day
one
in
day.
a year in particular to do it? That's my take on it. So I do not really have a thing against those who celebrate it, but I personally decided if I'm going to show you love, let me show you love every day,
day.
not just one day of the year.
That's very nice.
Yeah, I think I also don't differ so much from Nathan's school of thought. What I always think about is love is supposed to be a lifestyle.
Right.
If I didn't show you love yesterday and then today I'm all of a sudden pretending to be so nice to you, it's not a guarantee that I truly love you. Yeah?
Right.
So it's not supposed to be something that is locked up to a calendar day. I mean, it's only one day, 14th Feb, every year. What happens to the other 364, 65 days in the year? What are you doing with the relationships around you?
Right.
So it's supposed to be a lifestyle rather than what the traditions and cultures around the Valentine's Day are teaching us. It's a lifestyle and not just that one day you look forward to in the year. But you have to live every day doing good to all those around you and letting them know they're a very special part of your life.
Well, this is nice because we're all thinking the same. I mean, we have all that time to celebrate the people we love. Why should we wait for that one day?
What if they died and you never got the chance to express your love?
What if they died just a few hours
Okay,
before?
what if they died on the 13th of Feb?
Yeah,
Yeah.
God
You
forbid,
never got
but
the chance.
yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I wish I had done it the other year. You get
So the
so
point is, why wait?
why
You
wait?
can do it now.
Today,
now.
now,
You can do it
anytime.
Forgive
tomorrow.
now.
Exactly.
You can give now. You can appreciate them now
Right.
and not the next minute. So
Yes, and then there's another misconception. I heard you talking about giving flowers and chocolate. I did not hear you saying someone buying, like, say, a wallet for a man. You know, women feel like that day is for them to receive the flowers, the nice dinners. But I, for one, I think I also can buy my man a wallet. I can buy him a bag. I can take him on a on a dinner date. So what do you have to tell us as the ladies? Or would you love to receive gifts or you prefer giving them?
obviously it's more blessed to give than to receive. But then remember, in that equation, it doesn't mean only one is good.
Right.
Blessed to give than to receive, meaning giving and receiving are both acceptable.
Acceptable.
But I'll still go back to the Valentine cultures around the world. In Japan, what they do on the 14th, the women give to the men. Yeah,
I should
the
go
women
there.
give to the
I
men.
should go and stay there.
So according to their traditions, then after exactly a month later, on the 14th of much.
Much.
It is now the men who give towards the women,
Interesting.
but something of much more value than what you received from the other side. So it is, it is what it is. Both sides of the coin are important.
Right,
You receiving
right.
and you giving.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Well, I think it is essentially important because let me first go into the context of the Valentine that I don't subscribe to, but let me first go into it. If I go out of my way and let's say I get a bouquet of flowers and I get probably some bars of chocolate, I see people being extravagant and having these flower money things that they do. Someone has
And
put there a
some of
couple
them
of
make them
dollars,
like
a couple of
cakes.
shillings. They do cakes. You go all above and beyond, and you do all this because you are showing love. And at the end of the day, I believe that everyone who shows love expects a little bit of reciprocation.
Right.
It might be a teensy bit, but at least you expect a little bit of reciprocation. So if I go all out and I do that for you, and all you do is all you say is, "Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate. Oh, lovely."
Some don't even appreciate.
some
They're
actually
like,
do
he
not
only.
appreciate.
Can you imagine? He only got me a chocolate.
Yeah, imagine. So someone has gone out of their way to probably show you that they care, they see you, they look at you, and you do not even give it a second thought to probably get something for them. Now that's where I say that it has been looked at in a romantic way, and we have lost the meaning of it.
Right.
Because now, if I know that Valentine is coming, I probably have a girlfriend and I want to gift her, and she knows Valentine is coming, she should probably gift me. And then I give her and she doesn't give me. Yes, I might pretend and be like, something small. But at the back of your mind, you have that lingering thought of, bro, like, is it really? Really? So me, I think, as Ino has said, giving is important. The one who gives is important. The one who also receives is important. But me getting a gift as well, it might not be so much of equal value. But the question is, see, when I'm getting a gift, sometimes people, yes, the price is important, the looks are important, and all that stuff. But also the value. How much thought have you put into the gift? Does the gift touch my heart? I might give you flowers and all that, and you probably take me out for ice cream or it depends on the person. But now, if we are going back to the real definition of Valentine's, let's say platonically. Now, the thing with Valentine's was this: you would just be there and you do not know who would give you a gift. I would just come here randomly on a random day. And Innocent, I give you a gift. Pamela, I give you a gift. Like on random. It wasn't this thing of I'm expecting a gift from so-and-so. And because I'm expecting a gift from so-and-so, I have to give so-and-so. I could give you and you could not give me. You could give Pamela and you could give another. And that was the essence of it. It was to feel loved at a certain point. Because, now, for me, let me give you an example. Valentine's is coming. I am single.
Then you don't get.
Am I dead?
No, you don't get a gift. The whole point is you don't.
The whole point is this. The whole point is this. I do not get. I don't get, and I do not give, and I do not get. But that was not the initial point, because the initial point was this: we are living in a community. We are living in a society. In a community and in a society, as long as you are good mannered and well behaved, you will, at least somebody will give you.
Yeah.
And at least you will give somebody or two or whatever it is. But not this thing of I have to give this person. That's my take on it.
I think the other thing about giving that this day has kind of helped strengthen that lie in the hearts of many men and women. Giving is not something that if you try and understand also the genesis and the concept of giving from wherever it came from, but as believers, the Bible is what we keep running back to
Yes.
to guide the way we do our things. Giving when you're expecting, giving because you think this person is going to
It's
do
going
the
to
same,
give you,
it's not right. It's not right, because now in this, by the time, let me give an example. Nathan is gifting that babe a very expensive gift. If Nathan is not expecting anything in that, chances are he won't do anything. So it has created this thing of give where you expect to get back, which is properly something that is so wrong. Otherwise, if that's the case, then trust me, the whole concept of giving is going to be something that happens occasionally than something that happens each and every day. You get to understand. So I think Valentine's has also played a very big role in killing the real culture of giving that brings back the blessings that the Bible talks about. Yeah.
That's right. But also, there's this thing where when someone doesn't get a gift or somebody doesn't get a gift, they feel like, oh my God, they feel like this man doesn't love me, this woman doesn't care, stuff like that. I'm going to say this man because it's usually the ladies who have those kinds of things. They feel entitled to receive stuff on Valentine's, but they don't feel entitled to give. So it is a two-way. You give and you also receive. But in the event that you don't receive, give from a heart of, I just want to give. All right? Yes, moving on. So there's this thing where Christians feel like Valentine's is so evil. They just feel like whoever celebrates Valentine's, you are not Christian. Maybe you've backslidden or something. What do you have to say about that?
It's a tricky one. I hope my pastors don't get me wrong on this. But I'm sharing my thoughts basing on, of course, the little research I've done. Okay, as just among those who kind of kept being confused by that statement, every time you mention Valentine, this is not something you openly mention on the pulpit. Okay, on some pulpits. Some, of course, you do. And trying to dig deep and understand the history of where all this comes from. There are so many events that are attached to this day, But then some of the events, if you get to understand them and look at them from a perspective of someone who is a Bible scholar, you get to realize there is something off about what comes with this day. Now, as he talked about the pagan festival, the Roman pagan festival of Lupercalia, right? Which was performed by priests in ancient Rome. It was more about pagan worship, appeasing gods so that they give these people fertility, protection, and blessings. But then if you look at what happened in these festivals, it was a 2-day festival from 13th, 14th up to the 15th of February every year. So what happened during that? It involved animal sacrifice. And out of all the animals, the Bible talks about which animals? We talk of sheep. Lamb, But then in this particular festival, what they chose to sacrifice out of all animals in the world, goats. Okay, that's somehow normal. But then out of all dogs, because for goats, they believe the goats were connected to the god of fertility, helped with fertility. And then they also believe that dogs, dogs helped with purification and protection.
Interesting.
So now, if you look at that history, so coming down to that, it was a festival that had so many things. There was the sacrifice, and then at some point, the priests, would go to the streets of Rome almost naked, or naked or almost naked, hitting people on the streets, but mainly women with goat skins. And the women believed that kind of ritual brought them fertility. It helped in the times of childbirth. You get? But then above all, later on, there was also the aspect of matching where ladies' names would be written down on papers and put in a container. So the men would come and pick names from there, and then whoever you pick, that's the person you spend the entire festival with, and sometimes even longer. But then later on, the church then found problems with the way this festival was done, and then they disassociated themselves from it, and kind of it got abolished at a certain period of time. So the problems that the church has with Valentine now, at some point, I choose to believe that it's very much connected with what the church then had with the festival that was done around the same time. So, may I think it's something that comes from that perspective, from the historical perspective. But then when it comes down to the current perspective, I think we've mentioned some of them. It waters down the whole concept of giving. It waters down and makes it so hard for people who don't know the biblical love to understand what love truly is, because of the fact that it glorifies romance and makes it seem bigger than love. And yet, actually, romance is just a segment, a bit of what true
Love
love
really
is
is.
according to the scriptures. Maybe I'll stop at that.
Right, Nathan, do you have something to add?
I will just say something very small. Sorry. So when you look at countries, I think Finland. I'm not very sure, but let me just say Finland. So what these people do on Valentine's Day is this: the women and the guys, they walk, they get a piece of paper, and then they write the name of their secret admirer, and then probably like put it, like staple it to their forearm here. And what this was doing is that this was letting someone know that, you know what, I probably have feelings for you, and I want to take this far on. Now that is their culture. As you spoke about the culture in Japan, so you realize that different places have different cultures and have different understandings of the way that they do all this. So when we go back to that, as Innocent said, that's a very tricky, very, very tricky thing. Now, as a believer, as a believer, I would say this: Innocent has given us, and we have basically been here, sharing back and forth the whole backstory of Valentine's and all that, and we see that Valentine is supposed to be a time of giving. And it has been watered down and broken down. Now, when we go back into the ancient history, we realize that during that period where the churches and where the whole feast was disbanded, the feast was disbanded because of the immorality and all those wrongdoings. But the day itself, Valentine's Day itself, was left there. It was maybe just scrapped off from the church's calendars because it collided, but then it remained there because it did not have anything wrong with it. What was wrong with it? That it was just placed at the wrong time with this. Now, yes. Now, the problem that I would have with Valentine is how we have interpreted it and how we have turned it into something that was meant for good and to something that has been turned into selfishness, foolery, and I feel like sometimes we are making a mockery. Sometimes I feel like some people make mockery and take these things quite too far. So that is my take on it. Ordinarily, I don't think it would be wrong to gift someone, to gift your neighbor, to gift your friend, to gift your brother in church, to gift a random stranger on the road. But then it is just about what has been taken up by this day. Yeah.
Maybe just to add something little, as you was saying that, what came to mind is, why would you have to have a problem with it, yet you know the right kind of love?
Exactly.
I mean, and if you took time to practice the true kind of love, like the Bible talks about in 1 Corinthians 13, you'd even have no room to get into such discussions whether it is evil or not, acceptable to be done by Christians or not. As Christians, you already have a kind of love that God expects us to practice. And above all, when we practice it, that's one way that shows that we belong to Him. I get it. It's also one way that shows that we love Him. So instead of going into those, I don't want to call them useless debates, but let me call them time-consuming. Am I allowed to celebrate or am I not allowed to celebrate? Why are you bothering with what is not written? What is written is there for you to practice. If you have a problem with practicing 1 Corinthians 13, then I understand why it's so much of a big deal to you. But if you've devoted your time to really practice what true love is according to 1 Corinthians 13, then trust me, you will not have room to go into such discussions. And secondly, when you do that around the people around you, they'll also be so much affected by this true love that they'll also have the same mindset as you.
Exactly.
They'll also not think of, it has come, should I buy her something or not? I didn't get anything. Does that mean I'm ugly or not?
Yeah.
Actually,
sorry.
Right now, people think it has kind of removed that thing of it is okay to give. They feel like if this person gives me something, there's another thing, there's a hidden agenda behind them giving me something. The innocence of I'm just celebrating you, so I'm giving you something has been watered down by this Valentine thing that has started happening these days.
What does he want?
What does he want? Abarakachi.
He's
So
scheming, you know?
they
He's up
feel
to
like
something.
there's always he's playing a puzzle. Yeah, he's putting this so that I put something else, and then at the end of the day, they'll come and they're like, okay, now I gave you my gift, so it's time to
Yeah, it's time to pay up.
time to pay
Caesar
up.
what belongs to
Caesar.
Caesar.
Yeah. So for us, we're going to wind this up. We don't want to take a lot of our time. I hope you've learned something, but there's something that Innocent said that I'd like to relate to a scripture. The master, when forgotten where it is exactly, but the master told these people that occupy until I come.
Yeah.
In this sense, he's telling, set the pace. Set the pace. Christians, if you feel like these people are loving the wrong way, let's show them how to love the right way, because we have the Bible. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 tells us what love is all about. Let's show these people the right way to celebrate love. And it doesn't have to be only on that one day that we have called Valentine's. You can do it all year round, at any time, with anyone who you feel like deserves to be celebrated and shown love. Yes, at this point, we're going to close.
Sorry, before we close, yeah, you know, just speaking on that and what the both of you have said. No, this is just like a closing scripture.
All right.
You know, considering what both of you have said, it's very important. And there's this scripture in 1 Corinthians 11:1 where Paul says, "Imitate me as I imitate Christ."
Yes.
And I think if we decide to do the right thing, what's so hard about our fellow people in church? Let me speak to those in church. What's wrong with the fellow people in church seeing us do the right thing? They will definitely copy it, and they will not be blindsided by what the world thinks.
Exactly.
Parting shots. Yeah.
So, parting shot beside, instead of copying the world, like Nathan said, imitate Christ. But then I'd like to again mention this. The Bible says God is love, right?
Right.
If you do not have love, then you do not know
No God.
God.
Right.
So the whole point is there. Are you practicing 1 Corinthians 13 or not? So use that wisely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for watching. And lastly, the Bible encourages us to love one another, and that is how the world will know that we belong to who? To Christ. So
Christ,
again, it's us to show the world the right way to love. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with us this whole time. Please throw your comments in the comment section and hit that notification button so that the next time we upload our other episodes, you'll be notified. You won't miss anything. God bless you. I have been Pamela, and he is
Nathan.
and
Innocent.
bye. See you next time.